Our next speaker will be Marty Mercer. Marty has only been in our club a short time, but not only is he already getting his second speech, but he was an entrant in the area humorous speech contest and was victorious there. And Marty is a professional speaker. He is tonight giving the second speech out of the Competent Communication Manual, which is Organize Your Speech. The title of his speech is Every Day is an Athletic Event. Please give a warm welcome to Marty Mercer.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. When I mentioned the names Michael Jordan, Martina Navratilova, or American Soaring Stand, or Lance Armstrong, or Tiger Woods, what are you thinking about? You're thinking about some of the greatest athletes you've ever seen ever. You're thinking about their incredible performances, world records that they've broken or held, multiple contests that they won. You think, you've read about, you've heard about the incredible preparation and training that they go through to get ready for those contests and for that performance level. And maybe you shake your head and you say, nah, I could never do anything like that. Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, if that's what you're thinking, you're wrong. You are dead wrong, completely wrong. I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about this. What I want you to do is to stop thinking about your day the way you do now and start thinking of each day as an athletic event. I want you to think about each day, your training and your preparation, as if it was an athletic event. And if you do that, I think you're going to lose weight, you're going to eat better, you're going to get more fit, and you're going to improve your performance. Let's talk about the first point. Let's talk and compare and contrast an elite athlete's day to your day. Major League Baseball and the NFL games last 3 hours. Track, 7 seconds to maybe 2 hours plus for a marathon. The longest Tour de France bike race is, what, 5 or 6 hours? Let's look at their work year. The golfers work January to September. Major League Baseball, now they play almost every day, but they're playing only April to October. The NFL is August to January. Let's look at your typical day. You get up at 5, between 5 and 6, you get up, you got to get dressed, you got to get going, you got to make breakfast, you got to do breakfast for the kids, you got to get them out the door, you got to make sure they got their homework. You get in the car, you get on the phone, you got to check your voicemail on the way to school. You drop your kids off, you get to the office, you got a meeting, you got conference calls, you got a BlackBerry, you got a cell phone. You might not eat lunch. You might eat lunch, you never know. Back to the afternoon, you got more conference calls and meetings. I don't know where you work, but where I used to work, they wanted you to pay attention in those meetings. Later in the afternoon, you may be heading to the airport to go see customers or prospects. You might be having dinner with them here in Atlanta. If not, you got to go pick the kids up, make sure they get home. You got to worry about homework. You got to get dinner going. Is there a spouse or a significant other somewhere in there? And maybe you go to bed at 11 or 12. Which one sounds harder? Which one sounds like a 12 to 18 hour marathon? Would you rather have the elite athlete's day or your day? If you said elite athlete's day, are you training and preparing as if you're an elite athlete? Elite athletes don't think about food and calories. They think about energy and fuel. If you watch Tiger Woods in the middle of a round of golf, he's eating a banana. If you watch the tennis pros, they're eating and drinking in between games. The bikers have pockets built into their shirts so they can keep eating and fueling during their event. What do? Now you get to see what's behind there. We start off our day with a jolt of caffeine and Atlanta's finest Krispy Kreme donuts, right? Mid-morning, it's another jolt of this. At lunch, it's probably no lunch or America's favorite high-fat, high-calorie lunch in a bag. Afternoon, it's more caffeine and more sugar. You go home and you have a big high-protein, high-calorie, high-fat dinner to last out the rest of the day. The experts tell us that instead of approaching it this way, you want to approach it as 5 or 6 mini meals per day. So instead of having that big dinner at night, I want you to have a big breakfast in the morning, what I call Marty's breakfast stew. You get a bowl, you take your instant oatmeal, pour it in, pour in some water, take the egg whites, put a little egg whites in it, put it in the microwave, leave it for 2 minutes, take it out, 2 scoops of peanut butter, put some strawberries on top, and that, my friends, is the breakfast that will keep you going for the rest of the day. A planned mid-morning snack. Some fruit, perhaps. Take it to work with you. Keep the water going for fuel. When you get to lunch, stop going to the fast food places. Cut it out. No pizza, no fries, no chips. I want whole wheat bread. I want turkey. I want mustard. I want no mayo. Kill the mayo. Kill the soft drinks. More water. Planned afternoon snack. Almonds, snack bar, raisins, more water. Lunch, turkey, fish, chicken. Now, what's the next thing athletes do that we don't do? They have planned recovery times. They do not constantly keep going and going and going. This past weekend, Tiger Woods didn't play golf in a tournament where he could have won $1 million, instead to take the weekend off to rest up for the final 3 weeks of the PGA season. Planned recovery time. What are we doing? We're doing email at 11:30 at night. We're constantly going, constantly emailing, constantly driving, constantly calling. And after that 11:30 email, which by the way, is that as good an email as the one you wrote at 9 a.m.? I don't think so. So you head to bed, you get that email hangover. When you're laying in bed. The email you wrote is spinning around and around and around in your head. And maybe you fall asleep at 12:30 in the morning. So you have to have planned recovery and downtimes. 3 tips on that. First, this may sound surprising to some of you, is exercise. 15, 30 minutes, 40 minutes a day. You're going to get your blood going, you're going to get oxygen going, and you will actually feel better, more energized, more recovered. Secondly, sleep. There's a reason we're supposed to be sleeping, because we need it. Here's the best tip of the night. Get your pens out and write this down. Go to bed at 10 o'clock. I mean it. Nothing good happens after 10 o'clock. All the good shows are done by 10 o'clock. Third, I know for some of you, especially Dean, this sounds a little new wavy. Meditation. Try it. Maybe not traditional meditation. Maybe listen to Miles Davis with your iPod with your eyes closed. Maybe read something from the Bible. Maybe read a non-business fiction book. You need to relax and let your body rejuvenate itself because you've got another athletic event coming up the next day. So these things work. 3 years ago, I weighed 250 pounds and a 5 foot, 10 inch frame. I followed these 3 tips for a year. I began to think of my day as an athletic event. I started refueling 5 to 6 times a day. I started planning recovery times. I lost 60 pounds in 1 year. Michael Jordan used to always say, be like Mike. I don't want you to be like Mike. I want you to think and train and prepare like Mike. If you do that, you'll have your own top 10 plays of the day.